Hi. I'm your sweaty boy, Dangerlander 1K. That's a sweaty boy right there. It's been a long day. It's been like nearly 10 hours of streaming Back 4 Blood. I've been doing my homework, okay? My homework. I've been writing notes with a pen and a marble notebook. These are, so I did a 10 tips for breaking into veteran difficulty. This is 10 things you need to know on top of that. Okay. 1. First thing, might not even apply to you. It has to do with items, and if this doesn't apply to you, great. But if you finish playing like Warhammer Vermintide or Destiny, and you're thinking like, I need to upgrade my stuff so I can get the best. So like that number, see that star power? It's like the rating of the gun. You want that to go up high so you can have the most impact on your on the enemy. Why is my cat behind my TV and behind my Xbox looking extremely mischievous? Hey, get out of here. Get.
Hey, I found the next
Okay. Anyway, started acting up when I got stressed in my recent match. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Weapon rating. That's not an invitation. That's not an invitation. Go. Get out of here. Okay. Weapon rating is effective versus enemies, but really you just want to be operating at the rarity level that is available to you when you enter map. So when you get into a map, you'll notice that like there'll be uncommon weapons in the store, or rare or epic weapons in the store. Okay, so if you're looking at, let's say, the M4 carbine, and you know, you see something else and it looks like it's a higher rating, maybe because it came with attachments or something like that. If it's the same rarity, then you're doing that range of damage that is suitable for that. You don't have to worry about always switching weapons just because you see something 2 points higher. If it's the same rarity, then you're good. The only reason why you're seeing ups and downs is because different weapons appear to do more DPS, but like marginally more DPS, but that's not what's important. What's important is whether or not that is the weapon that suits your play style. Okay, so if you're like me in general, you prefer automatic weapons because my aiming is a little weird, so like I have to use automatic weapons to compensate. I mean, I could hit a shot, I'm just saying. Anyway, but if your playstyle is automatic weapons, just because you'll see like a sniper rifle that has a higher DPS rating or whatever, if it's the same rarity, epic and epic, don't worry. Your weapon's good. It's going to do the right amount of damage for the enemies in that zone. So stick with that, okay? However, it is your loadout. Second thing I want to say is you'll see the same kind of rating in different degrees depending on which which attachment you put on. So like the light competition stock brings the rating up 5. The tactical stock brings the rating up 2. But the difference is that's 50% swap speed, and this one's 30% aim down sight speed and 10% movement speed. Those serve two different purposes, okay? So again, if it's the same rarity, don't worry about the rating if you're switching fast. What you want to do is you want to say, what am I doing? The difference between swap speed is that you're kind of like constantly solving different problems. The difference between and aim down sights and movement speed is that you're sticking to that gun through most of your problem solving. Okay, so you know they serve different purposes. Don't worry about the rating. Once it's in the right rarity and you're sticking in that rarity, you're pretty much choosing based upon what that gun does and what that stock does. And the last thing I'm going to say, so the first thing was like, think about rarity. Common, uncommon, rare, epic. That's fine. And then think about the same for, and then think about that for attachments, but also think about what does the attachment help you do with your build. From a mobile character, then I probably would want this, unless of course I'm operating between two weapons that are meant to balance each other out, and I am expecting to try to solve both those problems on my own, or I'm thinking to try, right? What am I talking about? So the last thing I want to talk about is how weapons counter the main two groups of enemies in the game. The ridden mass horde zombies and the mutations, any mutation. When you see something like this, automatic rifle with high damage, right? Slow rate of fire. That means that per hit, you're gonna do higher damage. This is important when you don't have a lot of wiggle room to get a lot of fire in. So I'm not gonna exhaust an entire clip at anything, any mutated, like one of those big guys that's charging me, right? I got a shot, two shot, then I need to run and reposition because the thing is gonna charge me. Same with the tall boy, same with one of those abducting things that likes to pick you off with the thing that shoots, I don't know all the names, right? The thing that shoots the spit and webs you up, right? All that shit. I need something that's high damage because once I hit it, I need to do my damage, burst, and then like move on. So I need something that can get the damage out quick, either in one shot or in a quick burst. You know, the only like rapid fire thing that I think makes sense is, what is it? The Vector, but the Vector needs a longer clip. Right? This has low damage, but the extremely high fire rate is indicative of the fact that when I finally get there, I can unload all that damage in one spot. Something else like the light machine gun, which has low damage, high rate of fire and capacity. It's not extremely high rate of fire. This has a big clip. So what am I doing? When the horde comes, if I'm in a position, burst fire, and it becomes really inaccurate the longer you hold it down, right? So the idea is burst fire, burst fire, burst fire, burst fire, burst fire. The damage is so low, I found that with this gun, what it does is that it staggers them. It's got good stumble. They're constantly like, you know, whatever. It keeps them back. This is suppressed. Next thing to talk about is grenades. Grenades. The grenade helps to remove armor from armored mutations. That's what it helps you do. So when you get a card, a corruption card, that the director deals out and says that they're going to be armored units, somebody should have grenades on the team to help remove that armor, to drastically help you take down those things fast. And if you're not using it, the game will seem like it's just beating your ass. Your ass right in the hole. The Molotov, right? Molotov is useful for crowd control, but you can't use it for crowd control when enemies are everywhere around you. So you have two options. You can either try to funnel the enemy. Okay? Let me see something. I want to see something. You could try to funnel the enemy, which is it's difficult to do if you're in an open field like that. You gotta like kite them a little bit and then probably drop it on your feet after you've kited a little bit and got a group in front of you. But they're still coming behind you, so it's gonna be a risky move. Another thing you could do is run up to a car when they get up to you.
This is going to be messy.
Then run while you're on fire and hopefully get all of them that have surrounded the car before the car explodes. Okay? That's another thing you could do. Last thing you could do is take the Molotov, find out where the spawn point is. Like if it's a wall, right? You see them all pouring over the wall. A fence, you just hop the fence, even if it was a small fence. And when they're all lining up at the fence, that's when you get them, you know, and that's how you do it. Really, ideally, the right way to do it, they don't have it here, is to take firecrackers. Firecrackers do not last long. They seem like, it's silly. They seem like useless, right? But if you and a buddy are together and that's what you've got going on, grab the firecrackers, because the firecrackers, well, alone they'll give you a moment. That's it. But combined with the Molotov, they'll help you redirect a group and set them on fire. So that's like a tag team option that you have there, which is pretty cool. Let's talk about melee. The reason why I want to talk about melee is because I've discovered that by far the best weapon that I've had fun with has been the axe. Why? Because the axe equalizes for a melee build where you're stacking melee mods, okay? The axe is just so awesome at chopping down things that come up to you. It's great. I love it. I really have a lot of fun. I have an affection for the axe. I'm about to unlock the skin for it. It's great. The skin I'm gonna unlock for it tomorrow, I think, is this one. Ooh, it says Reaper on it. Nice. Okay. But everything is useful. This little guy right here, this will do what the axe does. It's good. It's just faster, and it takes a couple more swings, but essentially, in the time that it takes to swing, you might get one swing of the axe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's faster. Why is this decent, even though it doesn't do as much damage right off the bat? What's the comparison? The fire axe does 15 more damage than this. But when you factor in the multiplicative values from your mods, that will amplify the axe's power, I think, much more so than this. I don't know. That's my guess. But nevertheless, this is cool because it allows you to move around faster. So if you like melee, but you're dealing with a horde, and maybe you're not a melee build, maybe you're like a class that isn't a melee build or like a hybrid melee build. So you want strong, like, cleaving potential against armored units and stuff like that, but you also want to be able to run around and, you know, chop away at the horde. This is good. So is the machete. The machete at head level is really good. And it's faster and it does more damage than the bat. So why the hell, if the swings of the machete cost less stamina than the bat, and just do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get like 10 swings out of this. The bat, in comparison, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can't tell just by looking at the stats why you would use the bat, because the machete seems to be faster and does more damage. And when I say faster, it seems faster and it also seems to cost less stamina to swing. Right? I think that the bat has something like what the Belgian has. I think that the bat and the machete have a stagger or stumble potential. You don't see that stat written anywhere, so this is like tinfoil theory, but the blunt instrument appears to me, as well as the Belgian, appears to me to have the ability to cause the enemy to like stagger higher. The axe, though, appears to blend the you know, like the upper damage limit combined with the stumble, with the stagger of all the weapons. The only thing about the axe is that it's top down. It's not wide. So when you want crowd control, you really do need a bat or the machete. The machete, right? Because it's wide sweeps, or the quick mobility of the hatchet. You really need that. Now, can you not do crowd control with the fire axe? Yes, you can. Absolutely. You have to be a little bit more twitchy, right? And the swings are slower. But when you get strong enough, it's this is my deck. I would say it's my strongest deck so far, right? Brawler. I can't believe this is. I didn't mean to digress this far. I was talking about weapons, and now I want to talk about melee. Okay, but some of you guys might be interested in this. Anyway, Brawler. When you or your team kills mutation, get 1% damage up to 15% until the end of the level. That's your character getting 15% stronger against everything, right? Cross trainers for stamina. Then I got a heavy attack, which is a charged attack that deals 100% increased damage. But this is really only valuable again if you're using the weapon at the right rarity. Because if you're using like a if you're a step or two lower and whatnot, you won't really feel the potential. It really needs to stack off of the higher DPS of the right level of weapon. But anyway, melee kills heal 2, 50% melee damage. Melee kills grant 1 temporary health to you and nearby teammates. Take 1 less damage from all ridden. Kills while at critical health recover 1 health. 5 health, 10% melee stamina efficiency for better swings, more efficient swings. 20% melee attack speed. Gain 3 temporary health whenever you kill a ridden within 2 meters. 25% more melee damage, 10% damage resistance. Gain 10% melee damage, 10% melee speed, and 5% move speed for each melee killed in the last 4 seconds. Then 20% extra melee damage against mutations, and when you deal melee damage to a mutation, you gain 1 temporary health and you recover 3 stamina. And then this offers double stamina, 75% less stamina regen, but when I kill enemies, I gain 10 stamina instantly and an additional 10 over 5 seconds. And then damage resistance and health. This is not a min-max build. This is just me horsing around. I feel pretty strong. When I die, it's because I did something stupid. But I feel pretty strong to take out most things in the game. My bane is disablers, which is why not everybody can be melee in the game, because somebody's got to shoot those bitches when they show up. I expect to find even better cards, and I'm going to constantly update this and put the best balance of like life leeching and everything like that. Anyway, I'm talking about this for those of you who wonder what a melee character should be able to do. And if I can, I think there's going to be a clip up. I'm going to try to find it. I had a good session today where I was just, it was barroom. No, it was the diner. It was the diner where you got to post up outside the diner and you get the turret. You have to get there with the supplies. I had the gun facing one way and it was just me facing the other way. And on veteran, like nothing could get past me, and the person on the gun was able to handle the other side. It was great until they ran out of ammo and they had to reset. But anyway, that's me on like those items, okay? And the importance of rarity. You know, the other thing another thing about rarity is that there are upgrades. At the beginning of every mission, there's usually a stat upgrade and or item, like an item category upgrade, like improve all support items, you know, like bandages and stuff, right? You'll wonder, well, like, okay, how does it improve it? It improves their rarity, which means they'll all be more effective. And you'll see it because the minute that you press on that buff, you'll see all of the items in the shop that you can buy below, they'll go up in value. One example is the barbed wire, which I don't think they let us put out here, but the barbed wire, for example, the common version of the barbed wire is just 1 bushel of wire. It goes right in front of you. It's like here. It's like the width of this block, right? Okay. But once you go up to uncommon or higher, right, you'll notice that the barbed wire will start to take on a different look. It'll be wider and it will cover more area, which is awesome. So there's no way for me to like see the different versions of like traps here, or even the different versions of explosives. They're all common here in the field. I wish there would. I don't know if they're gonna add a button or something like that, but basically all those items take on new properties at higher rarities. So we'll have to experiment and explore and see. You know, I'm sure it's gonna be on the wiki, but if you're doing a good job of getting money, or somebody on your team is doing a good job of getting money throughout the game, then take advantage if you have it. You know, score those buffs for your team, because that means everybody's going to be more effective with their items. Okay. All right, so I don't know how long that took. I really apologize. It was supposed to be more concise. Corruption cards. The corruption cards that the director deals you. So this is tip number 2. Look at them. Before you start a mission, I can't even show it to you here. Before you start a mission, it's going to show you the corruption cards that are there. I can't show it to you. It's going to show you cards on the screen. If you actually look, like, you don't just look at the title and then it says ferocious and you're like, okay, they're angry. No, if you move the cursor over those corruption cards, they're gonna show you what those mean. A lot of times they'll say enemies have 50% more health, 25% more health. Enemy or it'll give you like a modifier to how they do damage. So like the guys who spit at you will also slow you down 30% more of your speed, you know, something like that. Why is that important? Because depending on your build, you might find that one of those cards is directly countering how you're supposed to operate, which means you have to adapt. When I'm a brawler, I struggle against enemies who are burning or toxic because I have to go up to them, and when they crowd around me, that extra damage is really breaking me down. Like, I can't do my job because it's too much damage, the status damage. So for that run, for that mission, I have to completely switch tactics. I have to either get a little axe so I can hit enemies but keep moving, you know, just be more nimble. Or get something with stagger so I have a chance to like beat things back while moving back. I don't even know. Like, I have to adjust. But it's important that you look at those things so you know what's going on. There's one particular debuff. It's like when the wretches or reekers or whatever, the ones that spit the big guys that spit the pool of acid on the floor. When it hits you, there's a debuff that will reduce like your weapon swap. I think your reload, your it makes it difficult for people who rely very heavily on their ranged damage to function effectively. It slows you down, and it will help wipe your team. So when you see that, you need to know that the acid's doing that, because you might be a little slow to react to getting out of the way, but you'll be much faster if you know that it's going to mess up your ability to survive specifically, like on the math level, right? Okay, look at the corruption cards. So first tip was rarity on all things that you use, on all of your gear matters. Within a rarity, the specific characteristics of like attachments or speed, right, have to do with style and your approach, and try to balance your ability to deal with stuff, both in mass hordes, right, all the guys surrounding you, crowd control, with your ability to deal with high armored mutations. Okay, and then check the corruption cards and think about that as you progress through the map.